Hello and welcome to the 85th episode of Redeeming the Time. I am your host, Jacob Wells. This is my dad, my co-host, Keith Eric Wells. Thank you for watching another episode. We're going to get right into it. We're going to see how big of a nerd you are.
Maybe you're the nerd.
Maybe we both are. We're going to go over, I'm going to say the real name of a Marvel superhero, and you have to tell me the alias or the superhero name. So.
Oh, that's the easy way. Okay, good. If you were to
do
do
you
the
want to do the other way?
No, the other way would be
the other
really
way is
tough.
really hard. So.
Yeah.
Excuse my.
They're all Marvel, not DC.
All Marvel, yeah.
Good.
I knew Superman and Batman, and that's about it. So.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of.
I hope
Marvel's
you guys are having a good week. We just went right into this, so let's go. All right.
Let's do Henry Pym.
That is the little dude.
Little or big.
Yeah. Oh, it's his Ant-Man.
Yes.
The original Ant-Man.
Yes. Peter Quill.
Peter Quill. Oh boy, that is a random one.
No, it's not. It's a major movie.
Peter.
It's a major movie. 3 of them, and they're all good.
Oh. Is that
Second one's
Ant-Man
not as
also? Peter Quill. Oh, the
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord,
yeah. James Barnes.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
James Barnes. Is that the Red Hulk? No, that's I don't know.
I don't think they typically go
James Barnes.
Agent Barnes or
Agent.
I don't really know what I didn't know his first name.
Agent Barnes.
Barnes.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
Winter Soldier. It's Bucky.
James? Yeah, I only know him by Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew his last name. I didn't know his first name was James. Ben Grimm. You just watched this movie. That's why I think.
That's Hulk Smash. Not Smash, but
it's not Hulk, but
it's not Hulk. What is his?
It's the stupidest name in all of superheroes, in my opinion.
Big guy made out of rocks for Fantastic Four.
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
That's the new Spider-Man.
I didn't even know that Squirrel Girl was a thing, but...
Yeah, skip that. I have no idea.
Doreen Green.
Nor do I care.
Pietro Maximoff.
That's Scarlet Witch's brother.
Yes?
Something with speed.
Not fast, but...
Slow?
No. There's another word for fast.
Speed. I don't know. White.
Quick.
Something. Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm is the Fantastic Four.
Human Torch.
Yeah.
Jane Foster. This is dumb. She's not a hero. I guess she is. They made her a hero, but...
Jane Foster, is that the girlfriend? Is that She-Hulk? Or she, with Thor?
Yeah.
Thor's girlfriend? Yeah.
It says Thor, parentheses, modern. Whatever. Wade Wilson. I've never seen these, and I don't really plan on seeing them.
Wade Wilson. I know that name. Wade Wilson.
It's supposed to be funny. It's kind of nasty. It's the only R-rated.
Oh, it's Deadpool.
Yeah. Loki Loftuson.
Don't watch that.
No. I haven't seen him. Loki Loftuson.
Loki. It's in the name. Thor's brother. Half-brother.
Clinton Barton.
Hawkeye.
Stephen Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Sam Wilson.
That is the new Captain America.
What was his name before?
Uh,
Who was he before?
Falcon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
That's the real Spider-Man.
King T'Challa.
Wakanda Forever. That's Black. What's his name?
Black Panther, dude.
Black Panther. I couldn't think of the animal. I just had Wakanda in my head.
You know the planet or the
Yeah.
area he lives in or not his name.
Yeah.
Thor Odinson.
Thor.
Steven Rogers.
Captain America.
Mark Spector.
Mark Spector.
I think TV show on this one. I like the TV show.
Mark Spector. You like the TV show?
One of the only ones I did like, honestly.
These are the ones from Netflix?
No, this is Marvel. Disney.
Yeah, the Marvel ones.
No.
I don't know.
Moon Knight. He also has
Oh, I didn't know
name.
that was his name. Okay.
He also has another name.
Yeah, it's 3 personalities. He's got a lot of names.
Last one. I don't know this one, but you do. Matthew Murdock.
Oh, that's Daredevil.
Yeah. Bruce Banner.
Hulk.
That's all of them.
Tony Stark.
Oh, come on. You don't need it. We don't need to go over that one. We all know that one. There's a lot of
Wanda
ones like
Maximoff.
you knew that. You said that one earlier.
Yeah.
Natalia Romanova. Natalia.
That's Black Widow.
Yeah. Arthur Douglas. I didn't know this was even a thing. This has got to be comic book material. Drax. I didn't know he had a real name. I don't think he does, unless you get real nerdy. We're not that nerdy.
Somebody's making stuff
there's more
up now. Everybody tuned out already. Like
We're
5
not
minutes ahead. 5 minutes ahead.
We're not the biggest nerds. We don't know Arthur Douglas.
How could Drax possibly be a normal
That's
name?
what I was thinking. Like that doesn't even make sense. Also, I didn't even know Squirrel Girl was a thing. Did you know that?
Yeah, actually I did, but I've never seen or read anything. I don't do the comics books. I've only
There's
done
so
the movie.
many of them. It's like I think that's the biggest reason. Well, time, but also just if I got into it, there's it is the level.
I
to get into
I
it,
enjoy
it's
watching
just
the
so
movies
much.
just because it's sort of escapism. But yeah, you go reading it. I don't have time for that. So
Ain't nobody got time for that.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Let's be done with that.
Hey, you
Hey.
did pretty good.
All right.
You did better
I
than I
got
did.
I got a B. Yeah, I missed enough to get a B.
You didn't know Bucky, but they never
Yeah.
say Bucky. Like,
Yeah, it's always Bucky Barnes. I should have known through Barnes, but I just did. Because
I didn't.
anything Stan Lee did typically was the same letter, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they started calling him that in whatever the movie that Harrison Ford was in. Was that Captain America?
Oh yeah, when
With-
he became a congressman or whatever.
Yeah. The president.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's going, oh, that's what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Bucky went in to be a congressman or whatever, he was, I don't know.
People completely tuned out. All
Some
right,
people.
let's get
Most
with it.
people, I probably
Yeah.
have.
All right. So this is our last week. By the way, I was told today. We're recording this on a Sunday. They want us to do the whole Book of Revelation. So we're going to consider that when we start that
Also, I have an idea. We're doing a
through the month of September.
what?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Just go ahead.
Our brains are leaving us.
Yeah.
We're doing a Q&A thing with the teens in September, October, and part of November before Thanksgiving. So, I think. What did?
Yours says dude. Mine says
Bro.
bro. I had one yesterday that said sis, so this is much better.
So, I think we could. There's a few of them. I read the questions already. I had them in Sunday school submit some questions, and there's
Yeah.
some
Good questions to maybe
deep
ponder.
ones. There's
Mhm.
it's not just and one of them is in the Book of Revelation. I know it's like Cohen or somebody,
Yeah.
and they said a detailed account of the Book of Revelation. I was like, you guys are.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't want that.
No, they were being
Just
the teenage boys. So, all right, let's get into 2 Samuel 5.
so this is our last week with David's life. We said we'd
Up
take it
to
till
being king.
Yeah, we said we'd take it to David being king, and so he's partial king of the land of. He's king over Judah. He's not king over the entire nation until today. So Ishbosheth gets murdered. David says, "Off with your head" to those that killed Ishbosheth. They thought they were going to get rewarded in chapter 4, and then we get to chapter 5. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. That's a pretty good start. And then they talk about how they had followed Saul, showing how faithful they were to Israel. Verse 3, so all the elders of Israel came to the king to Hebron, and King David made a league with them in Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel. It's there. Go ahead.
So I think those verses where they come to him, I just go back to when every time God protected him from making a bad decision.
Oh yeah.
And just thinking about that weeks and weeks that we were talking about. Hey, he protected him here. He didn't go to battle with the Philistines. He didn't lose his cool against Nabal. He didn't, all these things, and now they have the trust. Saul's lineage is done, and here is the
God's
king.
chosen king.
God's chosen man, and now they are all here, and it's done. That is, we know where we're going now.
The great payoff for doing things the way God wants it to be done. Yes, God forgives us. He helps us, and He will put us, alternative paths in life if we do fail. But to do it God's way is beautiful. So David was 30 years old when he began to reign. Now this is going back to when he started in Judah, and he reigned 40 years in Hebron. He reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. Jerusalem, he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. So 40 years total, combining the 7.5 years he was with just Judah, and then 30 years total over the entire nation. And 40 is a number of completion. It's a number. Any time you see like the flood, it's a sort of a cleansing, a purification. The number is used quite a bit in the Word of God. So I don't think that's any just random number there.
Yeah.
So we see he becomes king. So now it's time to take Jerusalem.
Yeah, so he's king. They anointed him, but there's still strongholds back at Jerusalem from Saul and all of his leaders that are there that probably don't want to be David's, they were doing Saul's and Ishbosheth's way for however many years.
Yeah.
And now there needs to be a cleansing of that so that the Lord can do his work.
There needs to be that, and also this is fulfillment of Scripture as well. When he takes the city of Jerusalem, now we have from the very time that Abraham took Isaac to the top to sacrifice, it was this area. This is it. And now this becomes the holy city of God, Jerusalem. It's still held by the Jebusites. So this city has to be taken. This is a big deal in Scripture. This is where Jesus Christ will be crucified. This is the fulfillment this is God laying out his plan, and one step at a time, and he uses his servant David to carry this out. That's cool.
So am I wrong? So Saul and Ishbosheth weren't at Jerusalem. They were somewhere else.
No, they
So
weren't.
I was wrong.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is the spot where the Jebusites had the land. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying there then. Yeah, they, what was the name of the city they were in? It just said that in the last...
See, that's the thing that's the thing I've always thought, actually. Just the capital city was always Jerusalem. But that's not the case.
No, it wasn't at all.
It was always, okay.
Yeah, because we go up to the time with Samuel and Eli, and the temple. There's no temple. There's just the moving tabernacle of the congregation, and the people would go and they would worship there. It was not here. It wasn't a place where there was any established temple, which will happen in the next few chapters. You see as God puts that on the heart of David. He'll eventually move the tabernacle there from Shiloh to...
It's the next chapter, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Right?
And then, he brings the ark up. And then eventually... Well, actually just brings the ark up. He doesn't bring the whole tabernacle at first. And then eventually the tabernacle will be built there by his son, King Solomon. So the Jebusites have been there. This is a group of people that we're told from the very time they leave Egypt and go through the wilderness, this is one of the people that were supposed to be eradicated when Moses and Joshua's people came into the land. They did not do that. This is a major stronghold. To this day, it's a stronghold. It's the city on the hill. And the way it's positioned, you can do some study on that if you'd like to, on why it's such a defendable city. I mean, it drops off. It's very steep on the east side, going down to Jericho. You've got a long entrance coming in from the north, which sort of that plateau continues on. On the south, it drops off. On the left, there's a lot of wadis, which are these massive, like, drainage areas, and if it starts to rain or anything, it's very defendable headed toward the Mediterranean. So they really only have one and a half fronts that they have to defend when they get Jerusalem. So this is a cherished spot of land for more than just the reason this is where God has decided to dwell with his people. And so with all that said, he sets out. I don't know if he's trying to get rid of his general there, but sure enough, he says, if you go up and take this city, you will be the captain of the city. And sure enough, that's what you can read all of that, and he eventually sets up the city, and it makes it his capital. So, anything in that you wanted to say?
In verse 13. Did you go past 13?
No. 6 through 12 there. You wanted to talk about?
No.
Joab.
My thing is 13.
Yeah, Joab basically is the one that winds up taking it. He becomes the general remains the general for David. And then we see this connection with the city, with the country of Tyre and Hiram, this is one of those where your children will benefit from your friends. Hiram becomes a good friend to King David, and will supply Solomon later on when he goes to build the temple. And this...
Yeah, and that's why they had the wood, they had the
cedars of Lebanon,
they
and
had the
that.
Carpenters. They were...
It was north. It was outside of the land that was promised to David, promised to Israel, and so we have that. All right.
So,
go ahead.
Verse 12, and David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. That's just going back to verses 2, 1 and 2. He perceived, he got it. After all these years of running from Saul, all these years in Hebron not being full king, and now it's like everything's coming together, and he's seeing the fruits of...
Yeah, that's a cool verse.
Yeah.
In ministry, sometimes you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, these are my people. You know, if you've ever followed somebody in a ministry, you know, there's this weird combination of folks that follow the other person, folks that are, you know, you brought with you, and you know, at some point, you pray that hey, these are my people, and this is, you know, God is blessing through him, and this is his country.
Yeah.
This is what God has had for him.
He is king. Yeah, he is the king now.
Yeah, it's very cool. All right. So yeah, verse 13 through.
So this is where you see David. Because what I should have gotten the verse, but it says kings should not do the three things, right?
Yeah.
It's take many wives.
Horses out of Egypt.
A lot of, and what was the third one?
I
think we forgot it last week.
Gold, yeah, the accumulation of gold, yeah.
And here David is, and David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem.
We had just talked about that a week ago, yeah.
And he was come from Hebron, and there was yet sons and daughters born, and then you see the list of, and you see Solomon mentioned here.
Yeah.
And so, you look, you see this verse, and then you go back. I don't know what chapter it is when he sins with Bathsheba, but it's just, you see it there. Like that was his.
Now, the cool thing that comes from that, though, is God still uses this because God blesses through Solomon, become the kingly lineage there. But he also, if you go to Luke chapter 2 and you trace that all the way back, the Lord, through his mom Mary, that goes back to David through Nathan, who is also one of the sons born in this time. So he's not following exactly what God would have him to do, but God still uses these young men. So, you know, your life you might not have come about in the proper way of that you're supposed to come about, but that doesn't mean anything that God's not going to use you. He can still use you, even if your parents have done things they shouldn't do. So that's sort of off topic, but I think it's there.
Yeah, I don't know. Last year I realized there's three things, and then you just see them over and over.
Yeah,
again.
You see after a while, all of the kings doing that.
Yeah. So.
Well, you think you've got absolute power. I mean, you're following the Lord, but you've also, you don't have very many people telling you no. And, I mean, you name the country, I mean, very few kings of history have
followed that.
Have just lived that way. All right, so now we get to the last part of this chapter. He's king, but we'll go ahead and finish this chapter. Verse 17.
We'll just stop right now.
Yeah. So how would this be? So now the Philistines heard that they had anointed David king over Israel. All the Philistines came up to seek David, and David heard of it and went down to the hold. Okay, so we go back a few chapters, and when we've got David there, and he had gone over into the Philistines, and they allowed him to be there for a while.
Year and a half, right?
Yeah, all this kind of stuff. You know, some of the what he had done down there about raiding some of those cities, that's had to have leaked out by now. And you also know that those other Philistine lords are looking and saying, we told you we told you
he was
going to turn on us, and we should have killed him while we had the chance. Because
didn't the king say something about, I have him under my hand?
I've got him,
or whatever.
Yeah, I've got him. He's
fine.
I've got him forever now.
Yeah,
because he thinks he had attacked people in Jerusalem, in Israel, but he hadn't. So,
instead of attack their own. Yeah.
So we have the account of two different things, two different fights, battles. And both times we see David
inquiring of the Lord.
Yeah, he inquires of the Lord. Shall I go up to the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into mine hand? And the Lord said, the first time, go up. And he does. And sure enough, it tells about that. And they burned, they left their images, and they burned the images, basically their false gods. Now the Philistines come up again. And verse 23, and when David inquired of the Lord, he said, Thou shalt not go up, but fetch a compass behind them, and come up come upon them over against the mulberry trees. Okay, it's pretty specific. And let it be when thou hearest the sound of a going in the top of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt bestir thyself. Basically, join in God's work at this point. Join in with what God's doing. For then shall the Lord go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. And that's exactly what happens. So he's waiting, and they're waiting till they hear it in the tops of the trees from the marching or the wind or whatever it might be, whatever God used there. And the Lord's working, and he says, go and join. Bestir thyself.
Bestir.
That should be your theme next year
bestir
for Camp Chautauqua. Bestir thyself.
Boy, that would really. Oh.
I like it. Bestir. It's not a word we use every day for sure.
It would grab attention.
It would.
What does your shirt say?
Bestir thyself. All right.
So what are
David's king?
So what are? Let's wrap this up. What are the? I mean, we spent how many weeks? 10, 12 weeks, maybe more than that.
I'd say a little more than that. Yeah.
So what are the main takeaways with reading this? Because obviously we are not going to be king. We were not anointed as king. Nobody listening is going to be king. There's.
We see a lot of things through these. Go ahead.
Yeah. We don't have a king. We don't have that. We're not Israelites. We're not Jews. We're not like all these different things, and it's just different than what our life is like. But there's principles here, overarching principles throughout, from him being a shepherd boy from Matthew 1 Samuel 16 to now. What are the main things that we can learn from this section of David's life? Because then you go into the rest of 2 Samuel and you see different principles, because it's a different life or different part of his life. But
sure,
during this, I know we talked about the preparation as he was a shepherd and as he was going into that and all that. But what are other takeaways that we can
I think
grasp?
That is a major principle that you see both in David's life. Any major character in the Old Testament, you find a principle of God's preparation in a person's life, how he is, we're not going to be David, we're not going to be Abraham or Moses or something like that, but God still uses us. There's preparation time, and in that preparation time, are we willing to be faithful in the little things and for God to use those? Because we see minute things of just how he took care of sheep, to learn to take care of
going after the one.
As he learned to now take care of a country. I mean, he's learned. The same thing with Moses. Moses learned 40 years taking care of sheep, to where now he's dealing with 2 million people that are sometimes act as dumb as sheep because they weren't listening and murmuring and all those types of things. And he learned patience. He learned all kinds of things like that. David does as well. David learns to keep his emotions in check, I think, during this time as well. He is a very as we read the Psalms, he's a young man that has a very big heart for the Lord. He's very emotional as he shares in those Psalms. But as a leader, you can't be like this. You've got to have, you can roll, but there's got to be some steadiness there, and the oscillation has to be a lot narrower. And I think you see that as God's preparing his heart. I think you also see how the kindness of the Lord to protect him when he was going to do really dumb things, and the grace of God was there in his life. Doesn't mean God's going to protect us from all dumb things that we're about to do. Eventually, sometimes he'll say, okay, you want to do this, go ahead. But we do see God's protection. We see God's sovereignty in this as well, as he is directing. His plan is going to take place, and he's putting people in David's life. He's removing people from David's life, and we would be wise to look around when that occurs. Why isn't this person in my life for anymore?
That's the thing.
Take advantage of the person that is brought into your life. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have this section of scripture where we can see God's sovereignty over and over again, because David lived thousands of years ago, and we can see from hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, when you're in the cave and stuff like that, it's very hard to take yourself out of that and look at. Yeah. So that question, why is this person not in my life? Why am I not? Why is this not happening in my life anymore? Or why is this situation no longer? Why did I lose this job? Or all this stuff. That's very hard to do.
I think we see also from this, why he's called a man after God's own heart. So I'd ask you to consider, if you've been listening through this, think back through those different items that he's done, he's not done, and how that lines up with the Lord, and the example that he is. We see a deep respect for God's authority, God's anointing on folks who he has placed in authority. We see a young man that chooses to live wisely. I mean, how many times did we talk about that? That he behaved himself wisely, or the wisdom in what he did here or there, and God created wisdom, or he is wisdom, however you want to say that, and as we seek God's wisdom in our life, he will provide it. He tells us that. James tells us that if we will seek that, it will be provided to us, and helps direct our path. So, anything else with that?
Yeah, but we'll move on.
Go ahead.
I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to start rambling. So,
all right.
I've probably already said it.
Okay.
Over the last 15 weeks. So
we're going to do questions starting next week. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll do
that for a few weeks.
Yeah, there's some serious ones. Yeah. Is it ever okay to lie? There's some about just completely blanked, but the Trinity. So a teen asked about the Trinity. How do you explain the Trinity to somebody? We've kind of talked about that, but man alive, that is.
Patrick.
So when they asked, I'll just call her out. Josie Williams asked that, and all the youth leaders behind her just started laughing. I was like, "That's a good one. We'll go over that."
They laughed because they were like, "Oh, that's hard." Yeah.
The short answer is you can understand it.
Yeah.
Fully understand.
Yeah, we talked about that with church history. Yeah. Okay.
So then I asked her, "Do you want the full history of the argument, or do you just want to know how, like, the simple way of?" She was. We were just joking around about it. Because it's been, like we talked about, since the beginning of the church. Yeah. So there's other ones that came up with.
And then when we get back from Thailand, we'll
dig into the Revelation.
We'll dig into Revelation. So that sounds like a good game plan. I hope you'll stay with us as we go through some of those. And if you have some questions that aren't, trying to actually trip us up, like, can God build a wall so big that it can't jump over type stuff, those type of silly questions. But if you have some other questions, either text us at,
email us at redeemingthetimepod@gmail.com.
Or just contact one of us. That would be good. Yeah,
you can contact him at 513.
No, if you dare. Out on the internet. By the way, this week, if you're one of our missionaries, thank you for watching this. This week, a random email address, not my name at all, was.
It's not even close.
No, not even close. But it was sent to almost every one of our missionaries, and it had my name and our church name and address on it. And it was something like, "Hey, I'm in a I'm in a thing, but I desperately need to talk to you. And when you clicked on it, then it asked people for gift cards and asked them to scratch off the code number and give it to them. Fortunately, none of them fell for it, but oh my goodness. And there's nothing I can do about it because it's not like they hacked my email account. They literally made up a whole new email. Ah. All right, let's move on.
It's like you would ask them for gift cards. That's the funniest part to me.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna support you, but
They were random too, like Macy's and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I don't even know where a Macy's is.
I need a Lazy Boy gift card. All right, so I've
right.
got a question for you,
Okay.
and I did tell you, I gave you some heads up on
I
this.
didn't think about it though, so
Well,
you told me
that's
well,
fine.
we're going into a busy day, but
so Callie got this little Doppler thing that you can hear the baby, and so I was listening to the baby, and holy cow, crazy. But anyway, I was thinking about this, and in December, I'm gonna be in charge of keeping this baby alive. But that's not the scariest thing, because I know Callie's gonna help me, because
Callie's going to help you.
Callie's gonna help me know what to do, because I have no idea what I'm doing, dude.
Oh my word!
I have no idea. I don't hold other people's babies because it freaks me out that I'm not doing it right. So I know it's good. People keep saying it's just gonna come naturally. It's your baby, whatever, dude. That is scary. But enough of my rambling.
God makes them flexible on purpose.
Yeah. So that's not what scares me. I work with teens,
Yeah.
and before I know it, I'm going to have a teenager, and I'm going to have little kids.
Don't jump that far.
I want to think about this
All right.
because there are things. This is what I want to ask you. I'm in charge of creating an environment that is Christ-centered, gospel-centered in my home, and so I don't want to go into living how to live your life. And obviously, the biggest thing that I took from a kid is watching you and Mom live your life in a godly way. That is first and foremost. Your kids watch the parents. But there's also little things that I remember here and there, going through Focus on the Family, those type of things at dinner. Those weren't as subtle, but what are some of the things that you did and Mom did that brought the gospel, brought Christ into the home in little ways? Like whether it is putting something on the wall or saying certain things here and there. I can think of a few. That just every time I hear it, it immediately goes to you saying it.
All right.
But I'll let you say them if you want.
I don't know what you.
But what are some of the smaller? We say small, but they're not small.
Yeah.
Like they add up to the point where it's just the culture within your home, your family culture. Your family is focused on Christ, focused on the gospel, as much as possible. So what are some of those things?
Well, thank you for saying that. And I didn't ask you to say that. But, yeah, it's scary. I mean, without a doubt. The first thing I would do is, if you haven't already, is there's some men that you specifically look up to, and you've watched them raise their kids. And if you haven't, start doing that. So find those men, see what, you don't have to ask them. You can ask them those questions and see what makes them tick. But
even then, I feel like I've watched a lot.
Sure.
I just like to watch people.
Yeah.
And I get that from you, but I don't see what's going on at home.
No, you don't. But there's some people though that you're close to.
Yeah.
And so you've been to their home and you've watched them as they've raised their kids. So you have some of that. Because later on in life you get to know them a little better. And you're like, well, didn't really like that part, or I like that even more, that kind of thing. The second, we've talked about this before as well, is, who are you going to let influence your kids? You're going to naturally have some that you minister to. So, I was teaching little kids, the sixth graders, and then I was teaching the college class. And, some influenced you more than I thought they influenced you. That was just naturally, you were part of ministry. It was just part of our lives. Not everyone has that, because everybody's not in a ministry position like that had that opportunity. But you were surrounded by people. But go ahead.
And I think part of, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking about that this morning. I think one of the things that came from that is, like I was a part of ministry. I wasn't ministering, but I was seeing you guys do it. And seeing the college people respond to it. And what I got from that is, I don't know how to say it. It's
a culture.
It's a culture, and you're a piece of the culture. You're not the whole thing. Like,
no.
You lead, but you're not the main event.
Right. And you lead for the purpose of giving people avenues to serve.
Yeah.
And to become what God would have them to be. So, yeah. So,
I don't know how to flesh that out, but you can.
With that, then the next thing is, in that influence is, who are you going to let in your home? Who are more than just the people you're ministering to, but your friends, those that you're going to spend time with. We were real specific about that. There were friendships we decided we can't be part of this anymore. We can't let this group of people influence our kids.
I do remember, why are we not hanging out with them anymore?
Yeah.
And
we were kind, hopefully.
No, you didn't tell me. You never told us why. I don't think. At least I don't remember. It's just
Emily probably figured it out, but you.
Yeah, I just was
Emily,
like,
you give her half a clue, and she's got the whole scenario.
Yeah.
That's just how she is. She's keen to that. Very discernment is very high there. Another thing is we spent a lot of time at the dinner table together. That we made that a priority, and that was critical to us. We wanted to,
whether you were upset with each other,
or
annoyed, or you had 20 minutes at home before a Wednesday night, you still came home to have dinner.
Yeah. So that was critical, and within that, then there were also situations where we would talk. We see a lot of sin in this world, and we see a lot of good in this world. So we see both of those, and we would talk about it. It wasn't sitting down and having a devotional like a lot of folks do. If you can do that, great. We did a little of that. I held that more off till bedtime, which we'll get to. But at the kitchen table, we'd talk about life. Hey, this was stupid. This person did this, and what's happening. So you're not going to hide it from age appropriate. Explain why it was dumb. Explain what God could do in their life to restore, and explain, those types of things.
Example of that is, specifically to me, it was at the dinner table. You explained it to both of us, but it was more geared toward, I felt like it was geared toward me because it was guys, but it might have been to both of us. I don't remember. There were two guys at least 8 years older than me, 7, 8 years older than me, same age. They were the same age. And one made a decision. They had the same decision. One made the right decision, one made the wrong decision. And you said, watch these two and see where they go. And still to this day, I'm still watching them. And that's an example of that, where I see one following the Lord and one who had the same exact decision.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't make that decision,
I don't
and
even
now
remember
they're
who that is, but
I'm not
You
going
can
to tell you.
You can tell me after we
I'm
get
not
off
gonna
here.
tell you right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all right, we need to sit down, son, and we need to talk about
Yeah,
it. No,
yeah. We never
it was
badmouth people. It was just, hey, these are scenarios. You got to look at these. The Bible's real. These principles are real. We've got to deal with them. And God blesses, God guides, all those types of things. We were real intentional about bedtime. We made it fun. I mean,
the dirt came out.
yeah, Ehud was a favorite. Yeah, those types of things. Anything where somebody was getting their head chopped off, or when you were a kid, those types of things. So that was important. Creating an environment where you felt safe and to where you could express yourself. And that's a really bad way of saying it. You could develop into who you were going to be. And, that's, I think we had expectations for you, but we weren't trying to live your life or you live out our dreams. And that was tough with sports, I thought, because you were really good at sports.
Not at first.
And I was really mediocre at sports. And, it's easy for the dad to want to do that, but you got to come to grips with that. There's more to life than sports. I don't know. There's probably many other things too but
So like the home.
yeah.
I know this is more like the mom makes the home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but was there any conscious decisions on things that were in the home, like things on walls or anything?
Yeah, I mean, we put scripture on walls. We had computers were out in the open, those kind of things. We made, when you were old enough to start having friends, we intentionally made the home open to where we could be the house that friends wanted to be at. You had friends with much larger homes. That wouldn't take a lot. Ours isn't that big. I'm not bad mouthing. I love our house. It's perfect for us now. And yet you guys wanted to be there. So
we watched a lot of games there.
Yeah. So those types of things to where we could then influence into your friends' lives and which influences you. And so those types of things were done purposely. We created an environment where work was important, paper routes and all that kind of stuff. And another big thing was prioritizing the Lord and service to the Lord, where whatever else was going on, we made effort, and you needed to see the effort that if you've got a game and on Wednesday night, you're going to be at church. We're going to make it. You might have to leave a couple innings early, but yet, if I'm coaching first base and I've got to be at church, I coached up to that point, and am I letting the team down for that? I went in. He knew from the very beginning. He was really good about that. He was good about that because you were good. If you weren't good, it probably would have been a little different story, because he needed you there. I hope not, but I do think a little bit had to do with that. But I believe that made it into your DNA. Okay, let's drink. Got dust in your eye? So
is it hot in here?
So no, I mean I think that gave you a heart to serve, and
I remember arguing about it.
It's little, but
Yeah.
it's and it's how you go about doing it. It's it's not this guilt type thing. It's just expectation. This is how we live our life.
We're doing it. Yeah.
This is what is important. So, importance is not having a perfect record on this or that. Hey, we're gonna have fun with this too. I'm gonna get you out of school on a Friday, and we're gonna watch, or Thursday, and we're gonna watch March Madness, and we're gonna hang around with a bunch of college students from church. You know, you know,
Yeah.
we're setting a lifestyle and a mode that allows us to grow. So everybody's life's different.
Yeah.
We have some specific things that allow us to do those.
But I'm also going into a similar, like my kid's going to be in a similar boat here where they're going to be in ministry. That's just, I mean, when we signed up, that's what we're doing. And so.
Little Russell Keith is going to.
Yeah.
That's a terrible name.
That is terrible. Keith Russell's better.
No, neither's good.
It rolls off the tongue, as
there
I could say rolls.
Oh, please don't do that to that child for either of our names.
So looking at that, I remember being a teen, being a kid, and whether I spent the night at my friend's house Saturday night, and I was getting picked up at the crack of dawn of 8:30.
You felt it was at that age.
Well, when you stay up till 4, it really hurts.
Yeah.
And just being, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why am I doing this? Why can't I be like, the kid's mind. Like, they don't have to wake up, that type of thing. Or leaving a game, or having to rush, a lot of rushing from a game to church, and a lot of smelling like BO coming into SWAT, with my baseball pants on. And I just didn't, I knew as I grew older, I knew why, but I didn't fully understand it. And until now, when I'm thinking about, and it is, there's a thing, that's what we do. This is what is important. And one of the other aspects, and I think we've talked about this before, the priority thing is, I knew I was always a priority, and I'm trying to make that, I want my kid to know that they are a top priority, but not the top priority. Because there were times where...
That's a fine balance, yeah.
Where there were games where you were there for an inning or two, and then you left.
Yeah, and there were games I just couldn't be there.
But there was never a time where I thought that I wasn't a priority. And there's going to be times, hopefully, I hope that my kid's athletic. If he's not, or if they're not, whatever. But I know I'm going to have to do that. And
your mom was excellent at that too.
She was.
She did not, and never was, oh, Dad has to go do this again, or that. She never did that, and she explained why. And I think that was a game changer.
Yeah.
Now, we made a ton of mistakes. I mean, look at us right now. I'm just joking. But we did but God is graceful, as we just look through David, and God allowed that. So we're not perfect. We're just talking about our lives. So please don't take it that way.
And I think it's really hit me, obviously, as every dad is ever. I'm not the first one ever, but these decisions are, those were decisions that my parents made. Now it's getting real of, I'm going to have to make those decisions for my kid. And I have to lead this kid for 18 years and longer than that, but they're going to be in my house for 18 years. And and Callie and I have started talking about things of creating that culture within our family of what we're just Christ-centered, gospel-centered love.
There's all kinds of decisions you make there too, especially when they're younger, like what they can see, what they can't see. Now you've got how much screen time can they have. We didn't have that kind of stuff as much. We did have the onset of social media when you first started in junior high, which we were very careful about that. Fortunately, it was at the early stages. You didn't get a phone for quite a while. All those kind of things. You've just got to gauge those. And
Be spirit led. It's
Yeah.
gonna change by the time.
Right. It
my-
will be completely different by the
Yeah.
by the time they would get to that age. You know, the priority thing. We also prioritized our marriage over you know, other things. Like, we did go away without you sometimes. Some people won't. My mom and dad wouldn't. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with either of those. But you know, we knew that this day was coming to where it was just going to be the two of us, and we did some things together to celebrate. You know, on the fives or
Cruises,
big 5 anniversaries, we would go do something special. The rest of the time it was, you know, with the family. But we needed that. I think a lot of that came from ministry and needing breaks from that. But so, all right.
It's a loaded question. I
Yeah, a loaded
appreciate it,
question. I
but-
hope it didn't sound like we were trying to talk just about our family, but this is, you know, stuff we have to deal with as we move. And it's good questions, because everybody thinks their family is normal, and actually, I'm going to do a sermon on that here soon. Everyone thinks their family is normal, and I don't.
No, we're not.
I don't think
I
we're
know we're not.
weirdos, and we understand that, but that's okay, and we have to align with the Word of God. That's what's important. So, all right, take us home.
All right. We had combined Sunday school this week, so we did joke time in the high school class, because normally the middle schoolers do joke time, and the high schoolers just talk about life and stuff. So we had the middle schoolers in, and there was a middle schooler named Ficker. He is...
Yeah.
He's
I don't know what grade he's in.
He's in 7th now.
All right.
But he's hilarious. He's a ball of energy. He's very big personality. Might be in 8th. Anyway, he came. He had this joke, and he just started giggling. we made him say it twice because half of us didn't hear it.
Because he was laughing.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah.
What is Michael Jackson's favorite shoes? He heals. And he said it just like that in front of everybody. Oh, it was hilarious.
That's good. All right. Well, you guys have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye.